Hello, everyone, and welcome back to our English Learning Podcast. I'm John, your host for today's session, and I'm thrilled to have you here. Whether you are a beginner, intermediate, or advanced English learner, today's episode is going to help you understand how to talk about your daily routine in English.
Hi, everyone. I'm Emma, and I'll be joining John today. We're going to explore a lot about daily routines, from morning habits to work or school schedules to evening activities, and even some weekend routines. Plus, we'll explain vocabulary, grammar, and pronunciation tips along the way.
Exactly. And Emma, I think a great way to start is by asking our listeners, do you usually have a fixed daily routine, or is every day different?
That's a good question, John. I try to keep a fixed routine because it helps me stay organized. But sometimes life surprises us. For English learners, talking about your routine is a great way to practice present simple tense because daily routines are usually repeated actions.
Let's start with the morning. I usually wake up at 6:30 a.m. and the first thing I do is turn off my alarm. Then I brush my teeth and wash my face.
Yes, and after that, I like to drink a cup of tea or coffee. I often say, I have a cup of coffee every morning. Notice how we use have for drinks or meals.
Exactly. Then I usually do some light exercise. It could be jogging, stretching, or a short workout at home. For example, I go for a jog in the park every morning.
You can also say, I do yoga for 20 minutes every morning. And for English learners, this is a great opportunity to use time expressions like every morning, every day, or sometimes.
Right. After exercising, I take a shower and get dressed for work. I usually say, I take a shower and then get dressed. Notice the sequence of actions. In English, when we talk about daily routines, we often connect actions using and then, after that, or before that.
Exactly. Here's an example. I wake up at 6:30, brush my teeth, have breakfast, and then leave for work at 7:30. This sentence gives a full picture of the morning routine.
Breakfast is important. I usually eat something simple, like cereal, toast, or eggs. I say, I usually eat cereal for breakfast.
Some people might say, I like to have eggs and toast in the morning. Notice the difference. Eat is general, while have is often used for meals.
Yes. For example, you could say, I take the bus to work. It usually takes 30 minutes. This gives your listener a clear idea of your routine.
Once we arrive at work or school, our daily routine continues. For example, I usually start by checking my emails and messages. I say, I check my emails first thing in the morning.
Exactly. Then we start our tasks. I usually say, I attend meetings, reply to messages, and work on projects. Notice how we use the present simple tense to describe repeated actions.
Yes, John. And don't forget, for language learners, it's useful to add frequency words like always, usually, sometimes, often, rarely, never. For example, I always drink water in the morning.
Perfect. And for students, the routine might look different. For example, I attend classes from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. I study in the library after lunch. I sometimes meet my friends for a coffee break.
Lunch is usually a break from work. I usually say, I have lunch at 12:30 p.m. You can also mention what you eat. I usually have a sandwich and some fruit.
After lunch, the afternoon often involves more work. For example, I attend meetings, write reports, and reply to emails in the afternoon.
And if you want to talk about habits, you can say, I usually take a short walk after lunch, or I sometimes have a coffee in the afternoon.
Evenings are usually for relaxation. I like to come home, have dinner, and maybe watch TV. I can say, I usually watch TV for 1 hour after dinner.
Some people prefer hobbies or exercise in the evening. For example, I go for a run in the evening. I read a book before going to bed. I cook dinner and listen to music.
And don't forget, you can combine sentences using and then or after that. For example, I cook dinner, eat with my family, and then watch TV. Before sleeping, I usually brush my teeth and wash my face. I say, I brush my teeth and wash my face before going to bed. Some people like to read or meditate. For example, I read a book for 30 minutes before sleeping. Finally, I go to bed around 10:30 p.m. You can say, I usually go to bed at 10:30 p.m. For English learners, it's important to mention time using o'clock or half past, quarter past, quarter to. Some people like to read or meditate. For example, I read a book for 30 minutes before sleeping.
Finally, I go to bed around 10:30 p.m. You can say, I usually go to bed at 10:30 p.m. For English learners, it's important to mention time using o'clock or half past, quarter past, quarter to.
Absolutely. And this completes a full day: morning, afternoon, evening, and night. Weekends are often different from weekdays. You can say, on weekends, I usually wake up later.
Absolutely. And this completes a full day: morning, afternoon, evening, and night. Weekends are often different from weekdays. You can say, on weekends, I usually wake up later. Yes, and maybe you meet friends, go shopping, or do hobbies. For example, I go to the park. I watch a movie. I sometimes visit my family.
For learners, it's good to use expressions for frequency and habit, like always, usually, often, sometimes, rarely, never. On weekdays, on weekends, in the morning, in the evening.
So, Emma, what tips can we give to our listeners for talking about daily routines in English?
Here are a few tips. 1. Use the present simple tense for daily routines. 2. Include time expressions in the morning, at night, at 7 a.m., every day. 3. Use frequency words. Always, usually, sometimes, never. 4. Connect actions using and then, after that, before that. 5. Talk about your hobbies and habits to make sentences longer and more natural.
Perfect. And remember, listeners, practice speaking about your daily routine every day. Even recording yourself will help a lot.
Yes, try saying, I wake up at 7 a.m., I brush my teeth, I have breakfast, and then I go to work. Make it your own.
That's all for today's episode on daily routines. We hope this helps you improve your English and gives you ideas for speaking about your day. Thanks for listening. Don't forget to practice and make sentences about your own daily routine. See you next time.
Bye, everyone. Keep learning and have a great day. And don't forget to subscribe the channel